Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Wicked Horror Show. We have a packed house tonight, so I just want to get into things. So I'm Kevin, obviously, and we have Tony.
What is going on, people?
And like I said, we have a full house, and we actually have another one that joined in as we were doing the intro. So I'm just going to go through. There's Vincent.
Oh, Vincent Ward's here. Hey.
Yes. So I'm just going to go through. So we have Robert. So Robert, so we're here to talk about Z Dead End. Yes. And you are the director and writer, correct?
Yes, correct.
Nice. And I don't know if we want to go through and introduce the other people we have here. So we have Anthony.
Anthony, he's our composer for the movie.
The composer. Looking forward to it.
Yes. We have Daniel.
Daniel, he's hopefully going to be one of our actors also in the movie.
Nice.
Yes. Joe Castro, the special effects master. He's going to be doing all the magic for our film, building all the zombies and everything. So
nice.
Vincent Ward, he is playing Sheriff Miller in the movie.
Nice.
So he's got a big role in the film also.
Cool. So yeah, this one looks really fun. So how long has this whole thing been like in the works? I going through like your YouTube channel. There was like a kind of like a little idea teaser from like 2018. So how long has this project been in the works?
This has been going on since like 2017. So we came up with this idea actually driving from another film shoot. One late night, like 12 midnight, we were just driving, me and my cousin, and we just came up with this idea. And just been going on from there. And I wrote the script, and we shot something in 2018 just to see, how it would look, and just to play around with scenes with people and stuff like that. But we didn't have any money to do. I just took the camera out and we just shot. So, but now we were going to do actually Brain Hunt: A New Breed before this, and everybody was messaging me like, "Oh, when are you going to do Z Dead End? When are you going to do Z Dead End? When is Z Dead?" So we're like, you know what? Let's just do a campaign for it, and let's try to raise money and see what happens. And that's how it started. And it just grew and grew and grew, and a lot of people started attaching themselves to the film. Hooked up with Joe Castro, been working with him for like a year now. We're designing all the zombies and crazy things that are going to go on in this film. So it just grew from there, It's just took on its own life, basically.
Nice. So you're the special effects
artist. There's Steven. He's on the bottom.
Yeah. Hi, Steven.
Hey, Steven. Hey, Vincent.
Hey.
You're wearing the wrong hat. You're wearing Brain Hunter.
It's all right. We'll forgive it. But yeah, so Steven, have you been on before? Steven, you're very familiar to me. Have we talked to you before? Not Steven. I'm sorry, Joe.
No, I have not been on. No, I've not.
You're very familiar to me. I don't know if I've maybe like seen other things, and I don't know. I was looking at your IMDb. I'm like, I think I've seen some of his other stuff. So maybe that's where. I don't know. But so yes, you guys have been involved in this one for a little bit. Is it like a long time working relationship with you guys, or is this just something where you just worked on one together?
Well, I started talking with Robert about the project. It's been about a year and a half, and then about a year ago, we basically melded minds as far as like the direction we wanted to go with the look and style of the zombies, because I think this film has a really unique kind of cool twist to it that most apocalyptic zombie movies just don't have. And that's what's going to make this one really stand out from the others. And so then together we started saying, okay, we're going to do this. We really need to make sure that zombies are also truly original. And we started looking at things that would make it very different than what you see, what you have seen, in past films. And we've been working diligently trying to make sure we get the best of the best on this thing.
Yeah, we have some wild, crazy stuff. Joe's making some really wild and crazy stuff. We don't want to really say too much about it, but I can tell you this though.
Every time I say,
I'm a big
every
fan
time
of
I
The Walking Dead, and I'm glad we have Vincent in our film because he's part of the Walking Dead family.
Nice.
And we want to bring Walking Dead quality zombies. We're not just going to bring, slap on paint and makeup and just, say you're a zombie.
Yeah.
No, we're bringing really quality zombies, and we're going to have some really crazy, outrageous looking zombies. I mean, I don't want to say anything about it, but the design stuff that Joe's doing, it's off the chart. It's really different.
Every time I send Robert a design, I'm like, I have to preface it. Do not share this with anyone because I want everything to be, that's what when you make something that's truly original, whether or not somebody, it inspires other people to do their own other stuff. Like The Walking Dead has obviously inspired like countless people to make zombie films, and we want to make something also that's truly original that's going to inspire countless filmmakers to go off and do something new as well. And I'm really excited about the stuff that we're going to produce.
Yeah, and looking at the cast, it's pretty intense. There's a lot of people in this movie, and a lot of people that we consider like friends of the show, like they've been on a bunch, and it's awesome to see them in a really cool project like this. I watched a little teaser that Tony had forwarded over to me, and I was like, it's raining zombies. Like, this is insane. Like I've never seen that. So it's just really cool. Like
this is gonna be like a Sharknado, but with zombies.
Yeah,
that's no tornadoes. There's no tornadoes in this movie.
Yeah,
I remember first hearing about the title because I didn't know. Before I looked into anything, I was thinking something different. I'm like, okay, this might be one. They're driving down the street, they end up in a dead end, and there's a whole bunch of zombies in this dead end. Then I see the teaser, and I'm just like, completely different than I thought it was ever going to be. And then I'm like, nothing wrong with that because, and then like you said, I'm like, kind of has that like Sharknado feel because I'm like, okay, there's a lot coming down at this point in time. Then I had that Sharknado, like World War Z kind of feel to me. And I'm like, I can't wait to see this.
Yeah. And the one thing, like you said, like a lot of things are influenced by The Walking Dead and Z Nation and stuff like that. So it's different and it's tough to get something that we all haven't seen,
Right.
So that's I've never seen Raining Zombies, and I just that's definitely something that caught my eye. Just like like you said with Sharknado, and even like was it Sky Shows, where like the whole like it's different looking, so it makes you want to go see it.
It's definitely gonna be different. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So then you're starting the project. You're getting some of these actors involved, like Vincent. Right. And Vincent, I see the Death House poster behind you, and I went to the set for a day in Pennsylvania, and we did a little documentary, like a behind the scenes thing that they showed at a couple cons and stuff. So I had a little connection with Death House too. Harrison's a good guy, So getting involved. So you have the actors and your composer that's getting involved.
Right.
So is this something where are they is it just like auditions, or are these people that you had in mind that you're like, all right, we need to reach out to Vincent, we need to reach out to Anthony, and try to get these people associated?
Well, how we got Vincent was I think it was through Felissa Rose. Steven knows how. Steven spoke with Vincent.
No, it was Sherry.
Oh, Sherry. Yes, Sherry. Sorry, Sherry.
Sherry.
Sherry. So Sherry Davis.
Most of the time it's Felissa, but this time it was Sherry.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure. But yeah, Sherry's also a producer on our film. She wasn't able to make it tonight, but yeah. So we got Vincent through Sherry, and that's I've followed Vincent. I know he was in The Walking Dead and all that stuff. So I was like really excited when she said that we could probably get Vincent. So, that was like really cool to have him in part of this film. We have Felissa Rose also. I mean, we have a lot of people. We got Robert Mukes, we got Robert Lusardo. A lot of people that I never thought that I would be able to get, to be honest with you. But
Dave Sheridan.
Dave Sheridan we got because Felissa Rose. So
we recently had him on too. So I'm looking and I'm just like, it's like the who's who of everybody, and I'm like, this cast looks amazing too. So
Robert Mukes, he's we've been cool with him for a long time, and then even Genevieve Rossi's in there too. Like,
yes, I know Jen. She's done a lot of stuff for me. I know her for a long time.
Oh yeah, and she like I know her because of James Balsamo. So it's like all this weird connection. But Now, as far as the with getting Anthony involved with composing, like how did that all come to be? Is this someone that have you worked with Anthony before?
Anthony reached out to me.
Yeah.
And I liked what he sent me a demo reel of his stuff, and I was like, wow, it's really cool. And it just clicked, I mean, a lot of people have been sending me like reels of their stuff, but with Anthony, we just clicked. So I felt it was the right fit for the film.
Nice.
So his music is amazing. So and you see
see
in the teaser trailer, I mean, it just makes it pop.
Actually,
his score makes it pop.
Yeah, I'm going to play the teaser right now so that way people can check it out. And if you're listening on the audio side, head over to either our YouTube channel or the Facebook page and check out the teaser there. And also, if you just do a search for Z Dead End, it's like a little under a minute long. So yeah, here's the teaser for Z Dead End.
Horde of zombies were falling like rain.
Well, that's something right there.
A little intense, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know what the budget for umbrellas were on this movie.
There'll be a lot of umbrellas. Yeah.
Very strong umbrellas, I'm hoping. But yeah. So it's so where are you at in the actual production of the movie? Like, how have you started? Like the have you started any filming at all, or are you just in pre-production right now?
We pushed a lot of filming back because of the COVID. We want everybody to be safe, and we just want to rush into it.
Yeah.
But Joe's working on a lot of stuff, so what he's building takes time, and we want to rush that. That's to look really, really awesome. And on top of that, we're in the works of locking locations right now. So I'm pretty sure by the end of the summer we're going to start filming.
Nice.
Yeah. We're going to start filming actually in April. We're doing the fighter pilot scene, but that's in studio stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do John Fiore is also in the movie. He's playing the general. So we're already building his set, and we built the fighter pilot cockpit, which we're going to have actual fighter pilots in the cockpit fighting zombies.
Nice.
So we're going to be doing a simulation on green screen with that. And that's all I can say really about that for now. But we're going to start that at the end of April.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then at the end of the summer, we're going to actually go into filming with everybody else.
Well, yeah. I mean, the good thing is, I guess it's kind of a good thing. Everyone's getting their projects like ready to go, so there's gonna be like a huge wave of just things coming out. Yeah. We're getting a lot of stuff coming out now, but we're running out at the same time. So hopefully,
we want to make this really. We don't want to rush it.
Right.
Me and Joe talk about this all the time. Like we got to really plan this. This is like a lot of technical stuff going into this movie, with practical effects on top of visual effects that. But you saw that we had Jeremy Rank is the one that did all the visual effects. He also did Victor Crowley, the visual effects in Victor Crowley. So he's really good. So combined with Joe's stuff and what he's going to do, it's a lot of technical stuff. So a lot of stuff's got to be planned out. Green screen stuff and makeup appliances and setting up the scene certain ways and things like that. We just don't want to just run and gun and shoot. That's not how I want to do it. I want to do it once this movie comes out. It's going to be an independent film, but I want it to be as the best it can be. You know what I mean?
I mean, we've seen a lot of that. Yeah. Like recently, there's a lot of like just independent films that are just amazing. Like they're just
right,
and they're changing the way that other films are being made too. Like movies that are lower budget that are like blowing people away. Like they're better than the big budget Hollywood stuff because they're just. Whatever. I'm not jaded or anything, but the big budget Hollywood stuff is just all cookie cutter to me. Every once in a while, something will stick out, but it's like, all right.
I don't think it's only cookie cutter to you. I think it's cookie cutter to a lot of horror fans, where it's just like literally everything's almost the exact same, and it's one of those things where you were talking about it. A lot of this independent stuff, now you have Shudder, where I think a lot of people are now. It's like, I don't want to say as big as Netflix, but it's definitely growing at a rapid pace, and it's one of those things where Shudder is a lot of just independent stuff that, lower budget, like, and I think that's the new wave. People got, now used to it because big budget movies weren't coming out for the past year. So you were stuck with, not stuck. I mean, that's definitely a bad word to say, but that's all you had was the independent stuff and how much new movies that we like, Shudder exclusives that we have, like Terrified we talked about, and a whole bunch of stuff. So
yeah,
I'm excited for it.
I think a lot of times people, when they hear the word low budget doesn't mean cheap.
Right.
Low budget is just, it's not $1 million something dollars. It's
right.
just, this is what we got. As long as you have a team that can make it look like you spent $1 million, $2 million, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You just got to have people coming in that's going to treat the lower budget as if it's a big budget.
Right. And the one thing, too, even like if you don't make it like look like $1 million, is like if it has like solid acting and a solid story, that's what I care about mostly. Like I can watch like some really grainy like art film and be like, this is amazing. Like, I'm fine with it. Like I have a bunch of stuff that's like whatever. No one's ever heard of this, but it's amazing.
Me and Joe have worked on 2 other films together, and they were lower budget, but once you see it, you would think these were big budget movies. So, with Big Freaking Rat and The Stepdaddy. So they definitely look like it's more than what it really was.
Yeah.
Do we have a release date yet on that, Vincent? Do we know when Stepdaddy's going to come out?
Well, actually, I heard from the executive producers yesterday, and she said she was going to let me know something by the end of this week or the beginning of next week.
Okay, I'm excited.
So I think we might be looking at like Hulu or somebody. So I don't know.
I mean, it was always my knowledge that, the only crime a movie can make is that it's boring. It doesn't matter what budget it is. It doesn't matter what the budget is. But if it's boring, then that's the only thing you can do wrong with a film. And these independent movies we're making, we're making pure entertainment. I think that's what Robert has with this movie. And
at least for the independent films, at least have your lighting and sound together.
Yeah,
that's one thing that makes it look low budget if they don't have those things together. That's the easiest thing you can do. So.
Yeah,
and we got a good DP on this film. We got Jan Michael Lasarda. He was the DP for Victor Crowley and Don't Kill This with Dolph Lundgren. So we got a really good DP, which knows lighting really well. We're going to shoot on red cameras. He's got all his own equipment, so it's really it's gonna look good as far as cinematic wise.
Nice.
Definitely.
Just real quick, I just wanted to. We have a couple people that are saying hi in the chat. We have Sergio, who's here all the time. Hi, Sergio, and Anthony Thurber, friend of the show. Also, Daniel, you may know him from the cons in the area, but he's saying hi as well. So thanks for checking everything out. So Daniel, are you a producer as well on this, or is it something where you're just looking to? Are you just getting involved in the film?
This one, I'm most likely going to be joining Rob in April. So very excited about that. I've been talking about that big time.
Yes.
Possibly producing as well, but going to be joining on board probably with John Fiore in April. So very excited about that at the end of April. So. Rob and I have been talking about this about a year now.
We've been talking since last July. We've been talking about that.
Yeah, I was just speaking with Felissa on the phone, and I said, we got anything going on in New England, and she introduced me to Rob. So, very excited to be on board.
Nice. Yeah, it looks really cool, and it's I like that it's in New England too. That not technically New England. You're probably gonna be filming in New York.
We're probably going out west.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, we're going to shoot the fighter pilot scene and John Fiore stuff here in New York, but we're going to probably go out west to do the final film.
Yeah. Oh, I see how it is. Yeah. Anyway, just because I had the opportunity, like I said, that one time to go to the set for Death House, and it was an awesome experience, even just to go see it from far away, even for just a day. So it's I always like when there's things that are kind of local where I'm like, hey, that was not too far from here, whatever. But It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't want to like ignore anyone. So Anthony, as a composer, you're a fairly young guy. Looks like.
Yeah, pretty young.
And I was watching your little demo reel.
Up there though.
You got a grown man mustache.
Yeah. That's if I shave, I look like I'm 12. So
Yeah.
kind of why I leave it on.
Yeah. And looking at your demo reel as well on IMDb, it said like you've done like 30 films. So how long have you been doing this?
Since I was 16. I actually got a lucky break. When I was 16 years old, I did a film called The Incubus. And it actually made it to theaters for 2 weeks. And since then, I've been like trying to get back to that stage.
Yeah.
But I've been, I've done every possible genre you can think of. I actually have a film on Netflix right now called Swiped. It's a rom-com with Noah Centineo, who's blown up like in the last 2 years because of all the rom-coms that he does. I actually worked on a documentary that won an Emmy called My Kid's Not Crazy. And I have a couple things on Amazon Prime, but no, I'm looking forward to Z Dead End, man. When you're talking about a story like this, that's so unique. You know, there's so many zombies out there. How do you make it different? And zombies falling from the sky, I don't think you really need to say anything else.
Yeah.
It's going to grab the attention of anybody. So my job is really, what the heck does that sound like? You know, and then how do you make that as unique and different than all the other zombie films that are out there? So it's a pretty tough task. I love Robert because he's kind of giving me freedom. And I've been throwing so many different ideas at him. He goes, yeah, man, this is, you know, everything I throw at him, you know, comes back to me with feedback. So we're looking at some pretty crazy stuff here. Because it's got to.
When I start feeling goosebumps, I know we got it.
Exactly. When he says when he feels it, the back of the neck, that means I probably did my job. So.
Yeah, I start feeling goosebumps, and I know it's like we got something there.
Yeah.
So.
You said,
full choir, 20 guitars, you know, full orchestral. You know, it's gonna be crazy.
Nice. I've always been curious about that stuff too, like how that whole process goes. So, I mean, even like I don't know, film like a behind the scenes or something, just the scoring process. Like, is it all in like one big room, or is it?
It starts in a little room, and then it expands as it you know. And again, it all depends on, you know, what's needed. You know, when you're talking about a film like this, it's, you know, it needs to be big. It can't be, you know, it has to make sense.
Yeah.
But I'm usually the last person the director sees. Everything needs to be done until I'm brought aboard, you know. And then once we're in a room kind of looking at what we need to do, and we just go from there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to, that, like to sit in a room and just watch the movie on screen and just watch him score it. It's just going to be like amazing.
Yeah, it will. And then you said Vincent's character is a pretty big role in the movie.
Yeah, he's the sheriff.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what can you guys say about the character? Like, I don't know, you don't want to give too much away as far as like story.
I'll tell you this though, Vince is gonna be a badass sheriff though. You know, he's gonna be a badass sheriff. He ain't be taking no shit. That's for sure. And not like a Rick Grimes type of thing, but we got a lot of different. You know, it's not only a zombie movie. We have a lot of different characters in this movie. Also, I don't want to go into much detail, but there's a lot of different characters, odd characters that meet up and try to survive this reign. So. Yeah, interesting characters.
Yeah, character. We've said it many times. You know, sometimes you get the horror fans that all they want to see is the gore and stuff like that. But It's one of those things where you need character development, especially in a movie like this. It's like, okay, you know, if they die, it's like you need to either hate them and, you know, wish for them to, or, you know, you really like the character and you don't want to see them die. Sometimes so many movies are just like, okay, that person, I didn't know anything about him. I didn't really care too much, and they died. Okay, well, so nowadays it's hearing, you know, there's going to be different characters and, you know, different groups and everything. I'm excited to see it even more too, because myself, I'm the character. You know, I need my character development before
I'm the same
anything.
way. Yeah.
So
that's why The Walking Dead has been so successful, because they have all different characters. and all different types of characters, and then you feel for some of the characters.
Yeah.
There's not only about zombies, but there's like heartfelt moments. And there's you start
They
feeling
got
for
too
some
many
people.
characters on there.
Yeah, so it was like when Vincent's season when he was on in the prison scene. When I first saw that scene, I was like, look at these assholes. Rick and his guys took this shit over, and these guys were like, what I'm saying? Right. So you start feeling, for the characters like in certain different ways. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, but then I started liking like Vincent's character. I was like, oh, these guys are cool. Like, him and Lou Temple were like, they were like the cool ones. Like, oh, we want to be on your side. We want to help you.
One thing I always say, just because a person is in prison doesn't make them a bad person. They just made bad choices in life.
Right. But it was your buddy that was in the leader, the guy with the black hair. He was the one that was like making you guys look dirty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, when you watch that show, like when I first watched it, I was like, oh man, like Daryl and Rick got to take these guys out. I was like, sorry, Vincent. Sorry, Vincent. Sorry, man. But that's how
we were there first. Yeah.
Right, we were at home. Why kill us? But that's the thing, though.
You guys were living in the back with the zombies.
You could follow each character, but now it's like 25, 30 people on there, and then some episodes people don't even show up. It's like, well, where are they? Yeah. So I think when you have too many characters in something, it can kind of, take something away from the movie or the show.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you should have your set like focus, and it jumps around a lot with The Walking Dead. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I gave up a couple seasons ago because I defended it to all end. I was like, give it some time. Like people were past season 2. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like it gets so good. And then eventually I'm just like, okay, I don't know if I care anymore. Like it's too long.
Well, you were talking about how many characters by like season 7 or 8. Then you have the trash people. You got these, and it's just like I can't even remember who I'm supposed to like and who I'm not supposed to like because now there's 150 people.
Yeah. But they're cool characters at the same time. It's like, all right, but they're still cool characters, and I'm just like, all right.
Well, that's a problem. It's like, okay, I like these people, but then I like these people, and they're not here, and it's just like, what happened? I'm like, in the beginning it was, okay, 20 people was like a lot, but it's like, okay, I can pick. Now it's like 500 people that I got to remember and look at. I'm like, I can't do it. But
all right.
I'm still a fan of the show. I watch it, so I still watch it. Like last Sunday, I just watched the Sunday this past. I watched
every once in a while. I'm like, maybe I should jump back on it. I have some seasons because
it's kind of like you want to see what happens,
Well, that's the thing is I work from home, so I can just have it on this monitor and be working on here and whatever. It's like only good thing about working from home. But yeah, I've also spent way too much money because of Walking Dead. But whatever.
Thank you.
I don't regret it. I still stand by to a certain extent. But I don't know. I'll get back into her eventually. So, like, how many episodes were you actually in, Vincent? Like, how many? Like
7.
7.
It was only 13 that season.
Yeah, and that was the prison one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you read that? Was actually my favorite season.
It was never about the prisoners. It was only about the prison.
Yeah.
Taking the prison over so they have a place to stay until Negan till the governor came.
Yeah. Did you read the comics when you got it?
I had no clue about the comics. I didn't even know it was a comic book. I didn't even know about the show. I just auditioned, and then when I got to part, I was like, "Well, what is it about?" They said it's about these group of people and zombies. And my first thing was, who watching that?
You're like, everyone.
About 20, 25 million was watching it every month, every week. So I had no clue, man.
Yeah. Because actually, in the comic, when they go to the prison, it's even more brutal than the TV show. Like it's, it's pretty brutal, like child molesters and stuff like that. It's
damn.
Yeah.
And then when I tell people I didn't watch it after I got killed off, they was like, "Oh, you just didn't watch it because you got killed off." No, I didn't watch it before I got hired. And it's not,
That's probably good though. I mean,
right. It was just me. It's a lot of shows that I've been on that I've never seen or heard of. I never put one show or one movie above another one. As an actor and actress, you're just happy to be working. So you should give 110% on whatever show it is, whatever student film, independent film, big film. You just give 110% on whatever it is. So
that's awesome. Yeah, and that's the thing is, if you were a fan of it, like, I mean, you're a pro, so I'm sure that you'd be fine. But like for me, like if I was like, hey, you're gonna be some random weird zombie in the background, I would be terrified because I'm like, oh, I'm a fan of all these people, and I'm gonna mess up in front of all of them. This is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna get yelled at.
You'll be the one zombie falling over in the background or something.
I'll be like zombies don't cry.
Yourself.
Why is
Somebody
that?
they asked me one time, was I starstruck when I saw them? I was like, I'd never even seen them before. and I'm like, why would I be starstruck if I'm a professional actor just like they are?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just everybody, for me, I just try to treat everybody the same, just be professional. Even Joe, I tried to treat Joe the same, so.
Well, everybody but Joe. But that's the thing too, is that you never know when your time's going to come too. There's a lot of actors that are like in the spotlight when they're a kid, and then it's just like now they're doing a lot of like really independent stuff. Like, because that's the thing is, Norman Reedus, he was at comic book conventions and horror conventions for Boondock Saints for years,
and nobody knew him.
Right, exactly.
It's like, oh, what do you know Norman Reedus from? Walking Dead. What about the Boondock Saints? What's that?
Yeah,
right. And then Boondock Saints has its own, cult following and stuff.
Yeah, that's why you never poo-poo on anybody, even a PA, because you never know where that PA might go. Mm-hmm. They might elevate before you do, or hell, their dad might be the president or the owner of a big company. So you just try to be respectful to everybody. That's just what I believe. That's what I believe.
Nice. Well, yeah. I mean, that's it seems like a good way to be, like, not even just with acting, with life in general. Yeah. That's how I am.
You never know who you come across,
Yeah.
You never know.
So Joe, we haven't heard from you too much. You make some monsters. I was looking at your IMDb as well. There was some visual candy there for sure.
Like people see the mess behind me. Normally when I'm on Zoom, I put up one of those, like blue screen backgrounds, but like right here in front of me, like if I could turn the camera the other way, I have like all these chemicals all over my desk. Like I have all kinds of stuff here. I have like an actual anatomically person that I can use. It's not so I can study it whenever I'm sculpting. Yeah. I got this just giant meat cleaver right here.
There you go. Look at that.
Joe is a mad scientist.
Got a decapitated head right here if you need one.
Look at that.
The brain hunter right here.
Oh, there you go. Brain hunter thing.
Of course, you got yourself a little gun here. I thought it's everywhere. I got aliens here. I got decapitated heads. I live, eat, and breathe special effects. I've been doing it for 40 years.
Wow.
And this kind of film they're getting ready to do is exactly what I came to Hollywood to do. This kind of stuff. No,
so I'm sure you're gonna have your work cut out for you, because when zombies hit the ground, I'm sure they just don't get up and walk away. Sometimes they may do damage first.
But Robert was very adamant about all the death, all the blood being blood. He doesn't want to use digital blood if we don't have to in any of it.
Uh-oh.
I mean, twice.
It's like, uh-oh, blood bad.
Basically, miscommunication in blood flying. Quick story. We were on a movie set with Vincent, and the director asked me to throw blood over Vincent's shoulder. Right, he was killing somebody, and I said, let's do a test. I'm going to use water. And the director's like, no, we don't have time. Let's just go. I said, Vincent, show me what you're going to do. And Vincent's like, I'm going to go like this. And then sure enough, I got it all ready. And it was just a matter of just a split second. Vincent went boom. But then he came back up into frame. The blood hit Vincent right in the and it wasn't. And now he was blind, so he couldn't see what he was doing. Wipes his eyes and goes like this. The blood goes all
everywhere.
Everywhere. And I didn't even know. I didn't even want to go up and touch Vincent. I'm like over here like this, like scared.
It was in my mouth and everything.
Did it make the movie?
Was it flavored blood?
No, I almost drowned.
Let's put it this way: when you have a moment to go ahead and do a rehearsal do the rehearsal, because then it took like 45 minutes to clean up, didn't it?
Yeah.
So see, if we would have just done a 2-minute rehearsal, then we would. So always do, never rush. When it comes to that stuff, we never rush on set. And then another time on the movie set, the same director asked me to put blood on Vincent's face, and I didn't know what to do. I went up. I have to stay away from Vincent when it comes out.
That's why I said, "Oh no" to the blood. But it was always fun, and it was always professional. And he always did a great job. So
thank you, Vincent. Vincent's total professional to work with. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah,
was there a specific movie that made you want to start with the whole special effects? Because every once in a while it's always like, okay, I seen one movie and that's what got me into it. Was there one for you?
Absolutely. It was Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. I was 7 years old. Most people know this story. My father sat me in front of the TV and said, "Son, watch this. You're going to like it." He knew I liked dragons and dinosaurs growing up. And he showed me this movie, and it's like, I went from like not knowing who I was or what I wanted to do with my life or, anything about myself to just having like one goal in life. And I was 7. I knew exactly what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
That's awesome. And are you completely self-taught, or did you go to school for it?
I am self-taught, but like any professional actor or Hollywood professional, I still study with other industry professionals. I will call like some of the like literally Oscar-winning special effects artists, and I have paid them to go and watch them work and to train and work with them, and we just sit there one-on-one, and we'll talk and sculpt things, and I learn how to use new techniques all the time. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's cool. And then same goes for you guys. Like so Vincent, are you like trained as well, or is it something where you just started as when you were younger?
No, I got fired from General Motors, and that's where it all started. I've always been like an entertainer. I was in a rap group. I was a dancer in the rap group. We would open up shows for like MC Hammer and
nice
NWA and Special Ed and Salt and Pepper. And I was a basketball player, so I would pretty much connect the two, even though my basketball coach hated it. But after I dunked on somebody, I'd come down, do a dance, rub it in the person's face. So that's where I got my entertainment blood from. And like I said, I'm originally from Ohio. And, if you know anything about the Midwest, the General Motors is a job to have. And I got hurt on the job and they fired me. So I had to do something after they fired me. And I started working at Champ Sports, became the #1 salesman in the district there. Ended up moving to Columbus, Ohio. And one day the general manager came. He said, "You're doing such a great job in this company. How far you want to take it in the company?" I was like, "I would like to have a position like yours one day." 2 weeks later, this dude fired me. Wow. And I was a little depressed, and I had went and saw a play. I had never even seen a play before, and I was like 28, 29 years old, and I fell in love with acting in that day. And it was like at a little theater, like a 20-seat theater. And afterwards, I'm like, wow, I'm all excited. I'm talking to the actors, and they was like, you should come audition for the play company. I was like, really? I was like, what's an audition? They said it's like an interview. So I went and auditioned and I got a part. And by me always being an entertainer and basketball player, I always had that drive in me not to be the weakest link. So I just started doing more and more plays. And I tell people all the time, if you can do a play, you can do anything, because there's no cut in doing a play. It's straight up action, and you have to have your stuff together. Yeah. And I feel like when I go to the set, I have my stuff together, because I never want to be that actor that doesn't have their lines, memorized or whatnot. So
yeah,
I'm
sure. Yeah. Do you still regularly do plays and stuff, or are you focused more on film?
The last play I did was probably right before the pandemic. I did a play with Snoop Dogg. It was his very first play.
Wow.
It was Snoop, Tamar Braxton, Omar Gooding, Eric Benet. I love the theater. Just to have that interaction with the audience. You can make them hate you. You can make them love you. You can make them cry, all right there in that hour and a half or 2 hour play.
Yeah.
Did you go backstage with Snoop?
We were in the play together.
Oh,
It was his play.
backstage. How was he backstage?
Let me tell you something.
With those there
all day, every day. And some of the people that was in the play, they were saying this was their bucket list to be able to smoke with Snoop.
Yeah,
I'm not a smoker, but it was, man, one night I know I was high because it was so
I'm sure everyone in the audience was as well.
But when I tell you, he's the ultimate professional, the nicest guy you ever want to meet. He was there to learn because he had never did a play before. Hell, he didn't even know you had to change clothes in the play. But he did an awesome job, man. And I gained so much respect for him for doing something like that. And because we toured, it wasn't just like one night. We toured from city to city, state to state.
Wow. I wish I knew about that. I wish I knew that was a thing. I would have totally been down to see that.
It was called Redemption of a Dog. So look it up. It was an awesome play.
I was invited to a play by Tony Todd like years ago. It was actually, I think, before Death House, or I don't know. And I'd been to some small plays in the area, whatever, in my area, like little production companies, and it's always been fun. And I went to it was in like Hartford, Connecticut, at this playhouse down there, and like I legit during the play was like, I need to get out of here. I thought a fight was going to break out because he was so intense. I'm like, he's going to murder this girl. I'm like, I need to go. And I don't know. It was so intense, like on stage, like I don't know. It's different than a movie for sure.
Let me tell you this one story. I did this play and I was a madman in the play. I was beating my wife. They had me rape her on stage, all types of stuff. And after the play, this guy and his wife walked up to me, and this guy just starts crying. And I'm looking at him like, what the hell wrong with you? And he said, man, I just want to thank you. He said, because I was you this morning with my wife. So he was pretty much telling me that he had beat his wife earlier that day, and he was taking her to the play to pretty much apologize. And he said after he saw me do that to my wife on stage, he told her right there in front of me, I'd never put my hands on you again. Because he was looking at me like, you bastard, how can you do that to your wife when he was just doing the same thing earlier that day?
Wow. You had an intervention there.
Touch.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. And that's another thing. Hopefully, when this whole pandemic thing is done, hopefully there's more opportunity to go to some plays in the area, because it is fun. And it's one of the few things that me and my wife like together. She's not into horror movies, so it's like, all right, we go to a play, even if it's a musical, whatever. If it's good, it's good. I don't care. Yeah. But so speaking of music, go back to Anthony. Were you? I mean, watching you play in your reel, I can't imagine that you're not trained. How much of it?
I since I was 12, I think that's when I started dabbling at the piano, and I just grew from there. I play guitar, drums. When you're in this profession, the more instruments you know about, the better. I mean, to be a composer, you really gotta study orchestration, composition. I studied in Seattle, Washington, at a school called Pacific Northwest Film Scoring Program under a composer called Hummy Mann, who was the composer for Mel Brooks.
Oh, wow.
So, and I was there for a while at his school, and I really got, the ins and outs of what it takes to be a film composer. You're really a composer first. Film is that's a whole nother ball game. So it was really good to really get to see, kind of like what Joe was saying, see a professional do it. For me, what movie made me want to do that was The Last of the Mohicans. About the Mohican Indians, and I forgot who was there. Was it Oliver Stone who did who was the director? But that score to me is what did it. I was like, that's what I want to do, and I pretty much figured it out at a fairly young age. That was something that I wanted to do. Like I said, I got my first opportunity at 16, and then just it's been a whirlwind from there. You've done bad movies, good movies. Doesn't really matter. Like Vincent was saying, it's a learning process. Yeah. There really is no such thing as a bad movie because you're learning from it.
Right.
So, but I'm at that stage now where I want to make some great films, and I think that's kind of what we got here.
Nice. And now, who are your influences? Like, is there composers that you're like, this is my go-to?
Yeah, well, you obviously you got the main two, you know, that I think any film composer can say they've influenced, and that's probably John Williams with everything that he's done. Hans Zimmer really kind of helped me kind of realize what it takes to really be a film composer. He's done everything that you could possibly think of, but I'd say those two. But really, to any successful person in music has to come up with their own sound.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I've been establishing the last few years, is really coming up, who is Anthony Espina and what does he sound like?
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, kind of what I've been doing the last few years, because I'm hoping down the line someone's going to be on StreamYard talking about Anthony Espina and his sound and how they've influenced him, so, or her. And it's a growing occupation. I mean, there's one thing that I love seeing, how it's not just the white European doing it, because really there was a point where that's all you had was white Europeans being film composers. You got women, you got people of color, you got Latinos, everybody. It's a growing occupation. So that's another thing about what I do that's really cool now, is that, and people feed off each other. You know, like The Walking Dead, for example, that score there, and I start hearing, now that you're working on a zombie film, you know, you start hearing all these people who have done it before you, and kind of how you can do it differently. How is Anthony gonna, what kind of sound is he gonna create in a zombie film?
Yeah. Now, just out of curiosity, like your thoughts on, like, so there's some composers where, like, there's no question. You hear it, you're like, okay, this is Danny Elfman. I know it's Danny Elfman because Danny Elfman. But it's like, so is it something where, is that what you're looking for, or do you think it's maybe not good to pigeonhole yourself like that?
Well, that's how composers get pigeonholed. For example, like a Thomas Newman, Shawshank Redemption, Wall-E. You listen to Thomas Newman, it's that same ominous melodic sound. Hans Zimmer, he's pigeonholed to that epic brass that you hear. Danny Elfman was that whimsical, dark orchestral score. So like you said, you hear somebody and you know who that composer is because it's that specific sound. Mm-hmm. I think nowadays, you're really not pigeonholed as easy as you were back in the day, because there's so many different genres out there now.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very easy to, you know, put your touch on what the director is wanting, because it's not really about you. It's about the director and the story he's wanting to deliver.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, for example, Robert will come to me and say, listen, this is the kind of sound that we're wanting. And he'll throw maybe the score to, you know, The Walking Dead, or he'll throw a Hans Zimmer track my way and say, we wanted this, but very dark, which he didn't do. You know, he kind of said, just, you know, I threw something at him and he's like, this is the way we're going to go. And so I just kept building. You start with a blueprint, you just keep building. Pretty soon you got a full score in your back pocket waiting to see the film.
Nice.
And I want to have like a score that's like, say The Walking Dead has a score where you hear it, you know it's Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So we want to come up with something that when you hear the score, you know it's Z Dead End. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So basically a main theme. And that's kind of what I threw at Robert. I threw him basically a demo. I said, this is what the main theme is going to sound like. And it, you know, it consisted of a full orchestra, woodwind, strings, brass. There was like 5 guitars in there. I'd love to even make it 10 guitars, full choir. I mean, and just come up with some crazy, unique sounds that, you know, what the heck does a zombie falling from the sky
sound like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And until you throw ideas around and Robert says, that's it, I got the chills behind, you know, my neck. That's, you know, it's kind of like what Joe does. How do you know what, you know, how are we going to be different from all the other million zombie films that are out there? You got to put something together and, you know, when you see it, you see it. And you know it, you feel it.
It's I mean, it's that's I don't know. It's getting me more excited even just hearing about it.
One thing before I just want to get in before coming a little full circle, we were talking about, you know, the budget and whatever. Yeah. You could have a, you know, lower budget movie, but if everybody knows what they're doing, it could look like that $1 million movie. But nowadays you can have that $1 million movie that nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Yeah. And it looks like you can look and be like, oh, that movie was probably, you know, a lower budget. No, we had a budget of $10 million. Well, it looks like crap. It sounds like crap.
Mhm.
And then you could get a movie that's, 50 grand, 100 grand, something like that. And everybody knows what they're doing. And it looks like, a multi-million-dollar movie. It's just,
Right.
and like Kevin was saying right before I cut him off, definitely, everybody knows what they're doing. Everybody sounds like they're excited for it. This movie, I think, is going to be that much better. And especially with, like, we said it before, with, independent movies, you can tell the difference too. Because in a lot of independent, it's small. It's like, it's, you could feel the difference between a big budget movie where people are there just there for a paycheck, and then the independent movies where, this is everybody's passion, where it's like, you can just feel the difference between the two.
Right.
So
That's
I'm
the
excited
key word,
for it.
passion.
I always bring up the Blair Witch Project
Yes.
because, come on. That was probably a zero nilch budget.
It was like $10,000, and you used a VHS camera to shoot
A
that film.
crazy idea. It was unique. They made it happen. Now how many films are like that now?
Right.
I call it all on a budget. That's
Yeah.
what I do. All on the budget. And you
Yeah.
get a team of people that's not about, well, I need this amount of money. I need this,
Right.
this.
Right.
Because this, it can be a small budget that makes your career because of your performance, or because of your sound, or because of Joe's look. Somebody else might be like, hey, I want that. I want him. I want that sound. So you never know. You just still do your job.
Yeah. So
we got the right team. We got the right team on this film.
Yeah.
It took a while to put together, but we got a good DP. We got a good composer, storyboard artist. Sorry that Anthony couldn't. The other Anthony couldn't make it on that, but his storyboards. Let me show you. Let me just show you a little sample here of Anthony's storyboards. So we got professional storyboards. We're not chinsing out on storyboards.
Yes.
So
Wow.
all right, so that's like one little scene in the movie that you got a little taste of there. But
Yeah.
these are the storyboards that we're working with, and I don't want to just, like I said, I want to do everything right. I want to try to do as professional as possible.
Mhm.
Granted, my first films were like low budget B movies. Like the first Brain Hunter was like $12,000 we did it for, and nobody was famous in it or anything. But people just dedicated 2 years to filming with me, and we just made a low budget B movie. It won 14 awards at the festival, so
nice.
And it got
That's the stuff I like, though. Like I like seeing this. It's something where I would want to go back and watch all your earlier stuff because I like to see the progression.
Yeah. So long as you keep rising up, and you don't keep making the same kind. You learn from your mistakes and you keep moving up. So that's now we're making this movie, and I'm not looking to just make another zombie movie. Like I said, we got a nice team. We really got a good team. Yeah.
No, I forgot to ask earlier, and I feel bad. But are you doing any crowdfunding for this, or is this all like private investors? Or
we are crowdfunding also. We have an Indiegogo campaign going for it. So to try to raise additional funds.
Where can people find that?
Go to Indiegogo and just type ZZN in the search bar, and you'll see the campaign.
Nice.
Yeah.
And, so, it looks like a really good time. I'm excited to see what comes up, and hopefully.
Like I always say that this movie could be a ride at Universal. This movie could be a video game.
Yeah.
This could be a series. Whatever, it could go in a number of ways. So that's my goal. And in this movie, I want to take everybody on a roller coaster. I don't want to just be like, like I said, we have different characters in the movie, and we got some sad moments. We're gonna have some romantic moments. We're gonna have some crazy moments. We're gonna have a lot of different things going on.
Nice.
So and that's just gonna be kill, 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 and blood, 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 and all that stuff. But we're gonna have a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, it'll have its kill and blood moments, I'm sure. Obviously.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't worry. Joe's gonna take care of all the bloody and gut stuff. Don't worry.
Just
about
feel
that.
bad for Vincent and everyone else that's acting in it because they're gonna be stained a different color.
Hey, you saw Joe's face when you said it's not gonna be blood, 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 kill, kill, kill. He's like, "What? It's not?"
No, it's gonna be.
Don't wear your favorite pair of underwear to set. Don't wear your favorite clothes to set. Okay.
One thing I do know about Joe is very passionate about what he does. When he's on the set, he's a madman running here, there, everywhere because he wants it to be perfect. So I'm sure whatever you guys got planned, he's definitely going to give you 2,000%.
Oh, Joe's got some goodies for us, believe me. Joe's got some goodies.
Well, we're getting to the point where we got to wrap things up. So I just want to go through and maybe get some plugs for you guys wherever you like to be followed on social media and whatnot. So yeah, let's start with Robert. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Robert Resto, Resto Films, Z Dead End on Facebook. You can go to Indiegogo page and just type in Z Dead End and check out Indiegogo page. That's basically it for now. We're starting to build a website, so we'll have a website soon coming up, hopefully, as we get closer to filming. And stay tuned. We got a lot of great stuff coming up.
Nice, cool. Vincent, where can people find you?
Vincent M. Ward, all social media platforms. VincentMWard.com. Got a lot coming out, especially my Ward wine. So
we gotta have some of that on set.
Oh yeah. That's why I was in Temecula. I was in Temecula today. So like I said, got a lot of stuff coming out. Actually, me and Joe got 2 films coming out. One called The Stepdaddy, one called Big Freaking Rat. And that's about it.
Cool. Speaking of Joe, where can people find you?
Okay. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/joe.castro. Send me a friend request, but more importantly, send me a message. Say hello. Let's make some movies. My Instagram is Joe_Castro_director. Say hello there. And I'm always posting new work every week. And I'm a really easy guy to work with. And I love working on independent films. Reach out and talk to me. Let's make some movies.
Nice. Anthony?
Yeah, you can find me at anthonyespina.com. I got all my social media platforms that are available through my website. I'm working on a few films. You can find all about the films I'm working on right now through my website. But make sure you go to the Indiegogo Z Dead End. There's some crazy perks on there. I mean, you can even be a zombie in the film. So just make sure to go to the Indiegogo.
Awesome. Daniel?
Everybody, you can find me on Instagram at DJK_historian. A lot of great projects coming up. 2021. Z Dead End, On Location, Massacre Academy, Time's Up, and in 2022, the events surrounding a Peeping Tom. So a lot of great stuff.
That looks really cool. I've seen some things. It looks like it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, a lot more to come with that too, and it's gonna be awesome. So a lot of great things coming up, and thanks for having us again, everybody.
Awesome. Yeah, Tony.
You can find me at Tony Has 9 Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews, unboxings, whatever have you. Tony Has 9 Fingers on Twitter, which I hardly ever use. Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. I actually just started a TikTok where I do reviews and such. And, of course, here on the Wicked Horror Show every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Kevin?
Just A-Knuckle on Instagram. Besides doing Wicked Horror Show and Wicked Horror Reviews with the 13th Wolfman, I'm also part of Black and White Fright and Secret Underground Hideout, all of which are on the Dorkening Podcast Network. Just go to thedorkening.com for more information on that. And, again, thank you very much, guys. It was awesome. Full house for here, and it was great to have you. I'm very, very much looking forward to the final product. So I'll definitely be hitting you guys all up for more info. All right. Thanks.
You.
Bye.
Thank you, Tony. Everybody.